Today we are going to see a few more methods, uh, that is switch to methods, navigation methods. All these are browser related. See, these are browser related. See, browser URL, browser page title, browser. So here you browser window ID, the browser. So uh, particular ID, see, these are all many tabs, right? Every tab has a unique UID that you can get with all windows, all these tabs IDs. If you want, you need to call this method. If you want only current window ID, you need to call this method, right? These are the things yesterday we discussed. You want to close current tab, you need to use close method. If you want to close all the tabs, you need to use
Sir,
quit. Yeah.
close parenthesis is coming error, sir, for me.
Close parenthesis, you're getting error.
Yes, sir.
Can you share your screen?
Actually, it's like 1 second, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And quit it's coming, sir. Close only it's coming error, sir.
Let's share your screen and we'll see.
1 second.
So before going for the switch to methods, yeah, I stopped sharing. You can share your screen.
1 second, sir. I open now only my laptop.
Mm.
Updating, sir, that's why.
Okay. Maybe you share me whenever you open. Last we'll see. Okay. So
Okay,
there
sir.
are second part is WebDriver switch to methods. You want to switch to from current window to other window, or current window to a frame or alerts. So alerts I already explained, right? Simple alerts, confirmation alerts, prompt alerts, like that. We have multiple alerts. Those alerts so need to be handled with this switch to. That means you are switching from current window to other window. For example, I want to switch to this window. How can you switch in the WebDriver? Right? That is what this switch to method is doing. It moves the cursor to the specified window, frame, or alerts. Recording in progress. So to switch to the specific window, you have to write driver is the browser. Switch to method is the one which is switching cursor from this browser to this window ID. You have to give window ID. Then it will switch to that window. Now switch to frames. So how can you switch to frames? Driver dot switch to method dot frame of frame locator. There is a frame is overloaded here. Observe that. So what is overloading? So method name is same, but parameters signature is different. Parameter, say the data type is different. One parameter only, but first one is a string, and second frame method is supporting int index. Third one is supporting web element type parameter. Integer type parameter, string type parameter, web element type parameter, all are so only single parameter only. But so, and it is varying only the parameter, not the method. Method name is same. That's the condition for method overloading. You can tell these formulas also. So you can switch to the frame by frame locator. You can switch to the frame by index. You can switch to the frame by web element. And you want to switch to alerts. So alert interface reference variable equal to driver dot switch to method dot alert method. You can switch to an alert. So these are the all switch to methods. Here alert is an interface here. So these are the switch to methods. And next we have a navigate methods. So navigate methods are, you want to navigate from this URL to another URL, or you want to navigate to previous page. So this browser back button, browser forward button, browser refresh. If you want to simulate in the WebDriver, how can you simulate? With the navigate method. You have to chain. You have to chain to navigate methods. All these methods, one by one, we'll see what are all the navigation methods. So this is the one. So navigate is an abstract method which allows the driver to access browser's history. Basically, so you want to navigate to this URL from this current page URL to some other URL. For example, I want to navigate in this same tab. I want to navigate, now we are in the Ramesh QA automation platform, right? I want to navigate to facebook.com. We just call driver dot navigate method dot to of URL. You give the URL. Then in the same tab, it will move to this URL. That's a navigate. So you are chaining. Navigate method, you are chaining with a to method, and you want to browser back button. You want to click on this back button. So how can you do in the Selenium? You just call this method driver dot navigate method dot back method. So it navigates to previous page. So you forward it driver dot navigate method dot forward method. So refresh, it refreshes the current page. So driver dot navigate method dot refresh. This is the refresh, right? This refresh simulation, how you can do in WebDriver is this line of code. If you want to refresh, just write this line of code. If you want to navigate forward, but this should be enabled. This is not enabled now, you cannot call. Now back button is enabled. Now you can use this one if you want to go to previous page. So that's a driver dot navigate method dot back, driver dot navigate method dot forward, driver dot navigate method dot refresh. So, and there is a difference between get of URL and navigate to of URL. What is the difference? This is the common interview question again. What is the difference between get method and navigate method? So you need to give. So get method is part of the WebDriver interface. Navigate method is part of navigation interface. So get method waits until the web page is fully loaded. Navigate method doesn't wait for the web page to fully load. If you call navigate method, it doesn't wait. So if you are calling navigate.to of URL, it doesn't wait. So just navigate to that page. And get method doesn't track browser history, but navigate method tracks browser history. So get method doesn't support refreshing the web page, but this navigate method supports refreshing the web page. So refreshing the web page, and get method doesn't support moving forward to the next page. Supports moving forward to the next page after navigating back. So that is the one. So that is the difference between navigate. So that's the one important entry question. So how will you refresh a page using get method? Get method directly it won't provide. But navigate method you have a refresh method. But get method if you want to do a refresh, you call the get method twice. So just call the get method driver.get one time. One more time you call driver.get. So it will reload the page. So that's the how you can refresh by calling the driver.get method twice. So that's the navigation methods. So we have all the different levels. Browser methods. That means only can call on the browser reference. Switch to methods means you can call on the switch to method. Navigation method means you can call on the navigate method. You can chain driver.navigate, then the methods. Two of URL, back method, forward method, refresh method. So these are the navigation methods. The next one is find element method. You want to identify an element. So how can you identify an element? So we already practiced that, right? How can you identify an element? Which method you need to use? Find element method.
findElement.
Find element by dot locator value. We have written all this, so many examples in the locators. So I have asked you to write all these syntaxes. Web element element name equal to driver dot find element
Driver.findElement.
by dot locator of locator value, right? So locators, what are the locators?
ID, class, class name, uh, name, mm, SRC, a hash,
SRC,
yeah,
SRC, locators,
SRC, images. Sorry, sir.
locators.
Title, tag name,
Oh my God.
a link, partial links.
Hmm. Some point it is okay, but not all correct. Yeah. Anybody else? What are the locators?
ID, class name.
ID, ID, name, class,
Hmm.
in CS, create
Selector,
account, CSS by CSS also can locators, CSS
CSS
tag,
selector,
ID,
expert.
selector.
You don't need, see, very important interview question. You are making mistakes. See,
Create.
you should not tell all those things. Locators means. I already told this. So locators means very simple. ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selector, tag name, link text, partial link text. That's it.
Partial test.
You should not tell any other things.
Okay.
These are fixed, man. There is no change in that. You should not change them. Okay. So I think your preparation is not that much good. Basics you are neglecting. That will cost you a lot. These are questions they're going to ask you. Yesterday I asked what are the browser driver classes, not able to answer. Please revise once again your basics. What are the Selenium 4 features? We able to answer that? What is the latest version of Selenium? Hmm? Hmm. Which version of Selenium you are using? Oh my God. These are all interview questions.
4.229.0.
4.29.0. That's the latest one also.
List.
That is the latest. Okay. The find element method finds the first web element in the web page based on the given locator. So it returns a web element type element. The return type of find element is a web element type. So web element name equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value. So that's what the syntaxes I have already explained, and one more time I'm showing you here. Driver dot find element by dot link text to sign in. Web element search button equal to driver dot find element by dot class name new search button. Find elements. So find elements will find all the elements which are matching this locator. What are the locator you are giving here? So all the elements it will fetch and stores in a list type collection. What is the return type of find elements? List web element. The return type of find elements is list web element. So the find element return type is a web element, but find elements return type is list angular bracket web element. That's a return type. So I am writing that, see, object reference dot find elements by dot locator value, but this return type is list web element and the collection name. So it fetches in this browser, it fetches all the web elements and stores in this collection. So that's the find elements syntax. So how can you fetch all elements from particular element or a section? So first you have to identify the element. Web element name equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value. I am identifying the parent element. From this parent element, I am fetching all the child elements. See, here I used find elements on the driver reference. Here I am using find elements on the parent element. So driver means entire page. Please understand this. If you don't get this difference, let me know. Driver means entire page. Element means particular element. That element inside I am finding all the elements, maybe all child elements, and storing in this collection. So again, find elements always returns a list type web element. There is no change return type. So even find element always returns a web element only. Singular verb. This is the plural. Why plural? Collection of elements it will fetch. Dynamic. We don't know, right, how many elements are there in that locator. All will fetch. That's a find elements. You can use on the driver. You can use on the web element also. Then what is the difference? So when multiple elements are present on the web page, what find element will do? Returns the first web element. Returns the first web element. And find elements, what it will do? It will fetch all the elements. Clear? That's a scenario. And what will happen if you use a find element? What will happen if you use a find elements? When single element is present on the web page, returns a single element. And find elements also returns a single element only one element with that locator. When no element is present on the web page, throws an exception. No such element exception it throws. Find elements doesn't throw any exception, returns 0 elements. Returns 0 elements. So what is the return type of find element? Web element. What is the return type of find elements? List angular bracket web element. How to access find element? Can be accessed directly. So you can iterate all the elements. List you can iterate and access each item using for each or for loop. So that's the difference between find element and find elements. Okay. So next locators. So locators we already seen, but let me give you one more time. Just a recap of WebDriver locators. Next topic. So what are the WebDriver locators? Again repeating one more time. See, this many times if I repeat, if you are forgetting means it's not so excusable. So ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selector, tag name, link text, partial link text. These are the locators. Again repeating because this is the one of the famous interview question. Simple also. If you make mistake in this simple and the impression is gone. Impression is gone if you make mistakes here. These small basics, if you make mistakes, they won't take you at all. And that's why basics are very important. Basics you read multiple times, you read and practice more number of times. You are forgetting, you are reading and you are forgetting. And you are never care of or no. How can I remember old topics? You never think of that. That's the problem. Guys, please remembering the points is a very important. That will be only through revision. So at least by sleeping time or relax early when you sit, just remember them. That's it. If you're not able to remember, just one more time go and look at them, and then you immediately can remember what you missed it. Or note down in the paper and stick to the walls, and you can see that. So again repeating, because this is a very important interview question and easy question. ID, name, class name, CSS selector, XPath, tag name, link text, partial link text. That's all. You should not include attributes here.
Yes, is attribute. So
You should not include any attributes here. These are thumb rules, that's it. And you cannot omit these things, you cannot add new things here. No. Standard, these are all. All the locators are static methods in the by class. That's why I am writing it's a method. It's a method, ID of ID value, but it is all string parameters, string type data. So web element name equal to driver dot find element by dot locator value. So identifying element by ID. So you can write web element name equal to driver dot find element by, see that in locator place I am just replacing ID, then ID value. So web element email edit box equal to driver dot find element by dot ID login email. So this is a unique query because only one element you can identify with ID. That's why I didn't write a find elements here, only find element I have written. Next, identifying element by name. So you can identify a single element, you can identify multiple elements because name can be same for multiple elements. So it can be unique queue, it can be multiple duplicate also. So that's why web element name equal to driver dot find element by dot name value. So now fetching all the elements into a collection using findElements API when name is common to many sub elements. So list of web element collection name equal to parent element dot find elements by dot name value. See that name we are using locator, just locator is saying. That's why I would say just remember this syntax and then remember all the locators, just replace here, that's it, and the value. So what, for example, if you use ID, just give ID value. If you give name, just give name value. If you give class name, give class attribute value. If you give XPath, write all different type of XPaths, whatever XPath you want. If you use CSS selector, write CSS value. You have to write CSS value, that's it. Here you write the CSS selector and the CSS value and the link text, link text value, partial link text, partial link name, tag name, you write a tag. That's it. See, you don't need to hardcore, by heart these things. Just this simple syntax. If you remember, all are same. See here, two kinds of scenarios with name. You can get parent element inside all child elements and store in the list collection. Or you want to find out all the web elements in the browser. Then, so you have to use a driver reference. See, that is the difference here. Element reference, here is the driver reference. So this will fetch this element inside child elements. But this method here returns all the web elements which are having same name value and that you are storing in this collection. Same class also. Individual, you can identify an element with the class. Web element name equal to driver dot find element by dot class name class value. So you can, this is the example. Web element LinkedIn logo equal to driver dot find element by dot class name. So that class value. So you can fetch all the elements with a class from parent element. So list web element collection name equal to parent element dot find elements by dot class name, the class value. So fetching all the elements with a class in the browser. So list web element collection name equal to driver dot find elements by dot class name class value. See that driver and this difference you should get very clearly. When you can use this one, when you can use a driver. In the entire page you want to fetch all the elements of which are having same class, such kind of elements you want to fetch from this driver browser and you can use this driver. Or no, only particular parent element inside child elements if you want, you can use this parent. First identify the parent element using this syntax. Then from parent you fetch all the child elements here. So you have to give a locator here also. Next, by XPath. You can identify a single element with XPath.